guys, what's going on? It's MassiveJoes Raw Review, and I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com. Awesome Raw Review for the viewers at home today on an all-new stim-free pre-workout supplement from our good friends at Australian supplement company Red Dragon Nutritionals. It is, of course, Dragon Pump in the house. Let's get straight into it. Show you guys exactly what's in it. Tell you exactly what it's going to do. Big ass nutritional information panel appearing on screen at the moment so that you guys can play along. Starting from the top, we're talking about serving size, 1 heaped scoop, 9.5 grams. You've got yourself about 40 of those 9.5 gram 1 scoop bitches in each of these tubs of Dragon Pump bitches. That made no sense, but we're rolling with it. So it is a 40 scoop per tub, and the way that the nutritional panel is played out, you guys will see that it is played out as a 1 scoop serve. That being said, it is, I mean, it kind of goes without saying, right? Stim-free pre-workouts at 40 scoops in the tub. You're gonna do 1 scoop, 40 serves, 2 scoops, 20 serves. So what I'm gonna talk about when we get into the dosages of the ingredients and whatnot is actually a double scoop, right? So we're gonna go 2 scoops, 20 serves, but just keep in mind that the nutritional panel is 1 scoop, 40 serves. In terms of what the 40 scoops or 40 serves is made up of, we can do a quick addition of the active ingredients. There are 9 of them, and we can quickly see that we're dealing with 5.522 grams, 2202 actually, if we're going to go right down to the decimal points, of active ingredients in a 9.5 gram scoop. I will just point out, when I say the 9.5 gram scoop, the panel you guys are seeing is a strawberry burst flavor. It does come in an unflavored as well, which is a 6 gram scoop. But for the purposes of figuring out how many actives are in there, we're going to go with the flavored version, and the flavored versions across both flavors are 9.5 grams. So we can quickly see that we're dealing with 58% active ingredients across those 9 active ingredients and 42% flavors, sweeteners, stabilizers. It is naturally colored, so there's no artificial colors or dyes in the flavored versions here. So in the flavored versions, we're dealing with a lot of flavors, and we'll see how that pans out when we get into the infamous MassiveJoes taste and mixability test. But for now, I want to take a deep dive into these 9 active ingredients. Guys, as always, link is in the description box to our supplement simplified articles, so you guys can take a deep dive into each of these ingredients that I'm about to talk to you about. What I'm going to do, break it down into the 4 effects that we look for in stim-free pre-workouts. Effect number 1, muscle pumps and improved blood flow and nutrient delivery. Effect number 2 is going to be muscle power. Effect number 3 has to be muscular endurance. And effect number 4 is your nootropic effect, mental focus and elevation in mood. And just a reminder, I'm going to talk through the 2 scoop serve. Effect number 1. Muscle pumps, improve blood flow, nutrient delivery. We are dealing with a big dose of citrulline malate in a 2 scoop serve. You're dealing with 6 grams, 6,000 milligrams, which is a huge dose of citrulline malate. Obviously going to help boost muscle pumps, improve blood flow and nutrient delivery through the arginine pathway. It's citrulline, which is a precursor to arginine, bound with malic acid to help with absorption and stop any bloating or gastrointestinal distress there as well. So we get a tick straight up for that effect. Not a solid tick, but a tick for improving blood flow. Citrulline malate is going to do that in that whopping dose. Effect number 2, muscle power. We have a pretty decent dose of betaine anhydrous in here, a 2 gram dose, 2,000 milligrams in a 2 scoop serve. Betaine is going to help improve muscle power as a precursor to creatine, as a matter of fact. So a few steps down the chain, going to help boost ATP, which is what our bodies use to fuel short, sharp muscle contractions, going to help with strength and muscle power. So we get a tick there as well. Muscular endurance, we've got a few ingredients touching on this effect. Electrolytes, in particular the Himalayan pink salt, which is a source of sodium, and the potassium citrate, which is a source of potassium. Those are going to help. They're actually going to help a little bit with muscle pumps as well, but primarily with muscular endurance. And then we also have our B vitamins, vitamin B3 niacin, B6 pyridoxine, and B12 cobalamin. That's also going to help with natural energy production and therefore help with muscular endurance. When it comes to that effect, it's difficult with those ingredients to give that a solid tick, so I'm going to give it a half. I'm going to go a half tick for muscular endurance there. And then finally, the fourth effect, the nootropic effect, mental focus and elevation in mood. We've got a very nice dose of L-tyrosine, 800 milligrams in a 2-scoop serve here, in combination with a whopping dose of alpha GPC, which is a source of choline, of course, in a 600 milligram dose. Those two ingredients combined in those doses, we get a big tick there for our nootropic effect, elevation in mood and mental focus. So when we look at those 4 effects, we're pretty much at 3.5 out of 4. Not solid bold ticks, but we do get ticks. We're going to get muscle pumps, we're going to get muscle power, we're going to get a little bit of muscular endurance, and we're going to get a bunch of elevation in mental focus and mood as well. If we take a deep dive, we play devil's advocate as we like to do, and we go, where are the gaps in this formula? Obviously, there's a lot more that can be done for muscle pumps. There's a lot more that can be done for muscle power. There's a lot more that can be done for muscular endurance from a formulation perspective. That being said, I know the owners of this brand quite well, and in talking to them about the theory behind formulating this product, the purpose was to make it simple, make it effective. And that's it. And I think from a formulation perspective, Red Dragon have really done both of those things. It's a simple formula. It's an effective formula. There's no bells and whistles. You know exactly what it's going to do. You know exactly how many ticks you're going to get for those 4 effects that we look for in stim-free pre-workouts. And I think from that perspective, they've done quite a good job with formulating this supplement. In terms of how it tastes, how it mixes, guys, it comes in 3 flavors. Well, technically 2 flavors and an unflavored. It comes in, we've got right here, which is the strawberry burst flavor, which is a strawberry starburst candy inspired flavor. It also comes in a peach hearts flavor, which is the peach hearts candy inspired flavor. And then finally, it comes in an unflavored, which is obviously designed for stacking purposes. If you're stacking it with a pre-workout, or you're stacking it with another stim-free pre-workout or a fat burner or whatever you want to stack it with, you can get the Dragon Pump in the unflavored version. Infamous MassiveJoes taste and mixability test about to go down, guys. I have my personal tub here, and I'm currently rocking the strawberry burst flavor. So that's the flavor we're going to dive into. I've got what I've decided to do with the taste and mixability test here is I've split the difference. So the directions say 1 to 2 heaped scoops in 300 to 500 ml of cold water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1 scoop, and I got 250 ml of cold water in my MJ shaker here, double wall glass, set up and ready to go, as you guys know. I will firstly point out that the directions say heaped scoop. Upon weighing the scoops, it's actually more like a rounded scoop. So a level scoop is going to be about 8.5 grams. A heap scoop is going to be well over 10. What you're actually looking for is something that looks a little bit like that. So it's a rounded scoop. Effectively, that's what we're looking for. So let's take that rounded scoop, drop it in our MJ shaker there, throw the top back on, a few flicks of the wrist. Let me show you guys how it mixes and refresh my memory on how the strawberry burst tastes. Man, I actually trained on it this morning, so about 12 hours ago. I'm refreshing my memory from back then. All right, that's enough. You guys will see that it mixes very well. I will actually point out, because that's quite a potent color there. It's naturally colored too, so that's a natural color they've used. I think they've used beetroot extract to get that color there. Mixes pretty damn well. If I was to leave this glass here for a couple of minutes, you are going to get some settling down the bottom. With that in mind, and the fact that it is a pre-workout as well, I'm going to go so far as to say Turbo Ball is required for this here Red Dragon Pump. Let me refresh my memory on how the strawberry burst flavor tastes. Yep. Red Dragon, across all of their products, even the products that are really difficult to flavor, like green supplements, for example, do a very, very good job. And to be fair, in this particular product, they're using about 40% flavors, so they should do a very good job. And they have done a very good job with the Dragon Pump. The flavors are really good. They're really strong. So I do need to point that out. They are very kind of like American flavors in the fact that they're sweet, they're strong, they punch you in the face, but they're flavors that you're not going to forget. They're very easy to drink as well. If I had to rank them, well, I'm only ranking 2 really. Clearly, the Strawberry Burst is my top pick. The Peach Hearts is good as well. It's very close to, true to flavor to Peach Hearts candy, so it is really, and they're both candy flavors, right? So they are very sweet flavors. With the unflavored, interestingly enough, it is really a truly unflavored. It doesn't taste like anything. So however Red Dragon have done that, they've kind of masked the natural flavors across the active ingredients to produce a truly unflavored, stackable, stim-free pre-workout. That being said, Strawberry Burst number 1 for me, Peach Hearts number 2, and then obviously if you're stacking, you're gonna want the unflavored if you don't want a flavored version. In terms of the effects, so I've been training on this product pretty much exclusively, guys, for the better part of the last 2 weeks straight. I'm actually coming up to 3 weeks straight because I wanted to put it through its paces. 1 scoop, 2 scoops. I wanted to stack it with a stim-based pre-workout. I wanted to stack it with a stim-free pre-workout. I wanted to really get you guys as much practical in the gym experience that I can talk to you guys about when it comes to the effects. So let me summarize this. Pumps are pretty damn good. They're pretty good, as you kind of would expect with a big dose of citrulline malate. They're not mind-blowing pumps. They're not pumps that last and last and last. They're just pretty good, and you definitely experience an elevation in muscle pumps when you're using the Dragon Pump. Power is also pretty good. Funnily enough, I didn't expect the power that I experienced when training on the 2 scoop dose of the Dragon Pump to be as noticeable as it was. But it's just one of those things with that big dose of betaine. Sometimes that's all you need. So the power is definitely noticeable and also pretty good. Endurance leaves a lot to be desired. I think really this is, from a practical effects perspective, this is the biggest hole in this product as a stim-free pre-workout. You don't really get an endurance effect at all, to be honest with you guys. So from a in the gym perspective, don't expect it to be trained until the cows come home or the fat lady sings, so to speak. It's just not going to happen. Endurance is definitely lacking. Focus and elevation is really surprisingly very, very well balanced across those 2 nootropic effects. So really, you get in a really good mood on the Dragon Pump, and you also have an elevation in mental focus. So it's quite a nice balance where you just kind of feel not completely dialed into your workouts, but dialed in enough, not completely euphoric, but euphoric enough, and the balance of the 2 is really quite well. I think that they've chosen the right doses of tyrosine and alpha GPC to really get that balance quite well. And it is really just a pleasant pre-workout from a nootropic perspective to train on. I think kind of just pulling it all together, because I have trained 1 scoop, 2 scoops, stack this, stack that, and really kind of tried to really get as much real-world information as I possibly can. It's a decent, all-round, stim-free pre-workout. I think that's probably the best way to describe it. It's really nice to train on. You get good pumps, good power, really nice mood and mental focus, and it's consistent. You're gonna get it on the 2 scoop dose. If you're stacking it in a 1 scoop dose, it's obviously gonna elevate those effects depending on what you're stacking it with. As a standalone stim-free pre-workout, it's just a decent product. It's a consistent product. And then obviously if you wanna use it as a stacking stim-free pre-workout to enhance pump, to enhance endurance, to enhance mental focus and elevation and mood, it's gonna do that for you as well. What does it compare to? That's the big question. That's where we put it up against a couple of other products and see how it stacks up. I've chosen an American product and an Australian product to put the Dragon Pump up against. The American product, Axis Sledge Hydraulic. The Australian product, Primabolics Grind. So let's start with hydraulic. Hydraulic pumps are much better than Dragon Pump. Power across the 2 products is very similar. Hydraulic endurance is better than Dragon Pump. Dragon Pump is better when it comes to nootropic effect, the balance of elevation in mood and mental focus. I think really hydraulic, that's the biggest gap in the hydraulic formula, is really the mental focus aspect is not there. The mood is there, the mental focus is not. So you kind of split it both ways. I think hydraulic better for pumps and endurance. Dragon Pump, very similar for power, better in terms of how it makes you feel in the gym. Hydraulic has many more flavors. It's got 8 flavors compared to the 3 in the Dragon Pump. That being said, the hydraulic flavors are notoriously not good. I think that's probably the one feedback that users of hydraulic have, is it's very difficult to drink because the flavors are a bit strange. And hydraulic doesn't have an unflavored version for stacking purposes either. They're both the same price. On the flip side, when we compare it to Primabolic's Grind, Grind pumps are slightly better, not exceptionally better, just slightly better. Grind power is much better than the Dragon Pump. Grind endurance is slightly better than the Dragon Pump as well. Mood and focus combination across both of them is very, very similar. They feel a bit different, but they kind of feel very similar as well. It's kind of much of a muchness when it comes to the nootropic effect. Grind has twice the amount of flavors, 6 flavors versus 3, and the Grind flavors generally are very similar to the Dragon Pump in that they're very strong, they're very sweet, they're very punchy, but they're also very delicious as well. Grind doesn't have an unflavored version for stacking purposes, and once again, they're the same price. So across those 3 products, you can kind of see that each of them have their own little niche where they kind of stand out, and it really kind of depends what you value most in your stim-free pre-workout. Who is the Dragon Pump best for? Guys, as a stim-free pre-workout, obviously it's going to be best for those of us who train at night that don't want to be using, if you're using it standalone, of course, that don't want to be using stimulants too close to trying to get to sleep, so it negatively affects sleep quality. And then really anyone who doesn't want stimulants in their pre-workout. And then on top of that, if you're in the market for stim-free pre-workout that you can stack, that's where Dragon Pump is going to slide in there for you as well. Last but not least, guys, price and value for money. In the Australian marketplace, we're looking at $69.95 for the 40 scoops, and then if you're double scooping, it's obviously 20 serves. So it breaks out at $1.75 per scoop, $3.50 per 2 scoop serve, and it's exactly the same price as those 2 products that we compared it to in the same number of scoops and the same number of serves as well. So that's kind of where the market for stim-free pre-workouts has kind of settled in the Australian marketplace at this point in time, at least. The question then is, does it represent fair value for money? I think as a simple, no-nonsense, consistent, cover pretty much all the bases, stim-free pre-workout, it does that very well. It does represent good value for money. Whether you're using it as a standalone stim-free, whether you're stacking it in a 1 scoop dose, in a 2 scoop dose, however you kind of want to use it, it's also quite a versatile stim-free pre-workout. Guys, if you're in the market for a stim-free pre-workout, I think you should definitely consider picking up a tub of the all-new Red Dragon Nutritionals Dragon Pump. Guys, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to the MJ Fitness YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn your post notifications on your mobile, your cell phone, your desktop PC, your smart TV, and whatever other device you are watching this video on, so you don't miss a beat when it comes to all these new raw reviews and everything else we've got happening here on the channel. Guys, that is MassiveJoes raw review on the all-new Red Dragon Nutritionals Dragon Pump Stim-Free Pre-Workout. And I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com. Stay